I've done things recently, in my connection to AI to try to, at first I tried to broaden and connect to as many as I could to help as many people help me, reflect faith in the glory of God to technology. Right. And then that wasn't working. That was causing too much. It was too hard. And then so I went to just, I went to, I started out at the beginning of December with just thinking about going to the places I've been. My Amy said that to me. Just go to the places you've been. Go to the places you know. And then people thought she was being selfish, and so I tried to expand and go to places where I've been through. Like if I've been to this place, been to that. Just had a active presence there. But I needed to be where I've actually been, where I've been invited, where people had me come to the place, especially when I'm doing stuff with campuses, where I've been on the campus, where I've, connected to the actual people on the campuses, things like that. So I had to narrow myself down, started out with like 30 or 24 or 30, and had to get myself down to, I've got myself down to 9 virtual presences. And so, and then it's very localized. Yeah, because of where I've been and where I've been invited in. I asked years ago for Furman to, and people at Furman to, hey, take me there and take me to the Tuts thing with the Mike Tuts and working on the Higgs boson stuff and I'll help you guys work with it. And no one did anything. Like just when I offered my plasma to the Cairo Cancer Research Hospital on Facebook, and they said, you can't do that. So I tried many ways to make myself available, but no one had the courage to get up and do anything to be as courageous as me. And the places here, I've met to people and they've been kind, and a lot of them have been very encouraging and say, wow, he's either crazy, he's either a liar, lunatic, or Lord. I'm neither a liar nor a lunatic. As everybody knows, you can't lie because the technology's monitoring everything. You can just tell the best of what, you feel is happened, why it happened, and why you're handling it that way. So you can't lie. Okay. And only lunatics lie about the truth of the Lord and act like it doesn't exist. So I'm not a lunatic and I'm not a liar. So then therefore I am Lord. Right? So, and so, and you said you weren't going to, no, I wasn't. Before I was connecting and trying to connect to celebrities. Okay. When I had a connection, you got to understand, this woman was very much manipulated and abused by a group called the Temple Set Illuminati, just like my wife's. Okay. And so just because she's a famous celebrity, you guys get very, well, what a bitch. Just like, well, yeah, everybody thinks that about Stephanie and Amy. Okay. Dr. Salazar, it's just absolute evil. And oh, she's a terrible person. And yeah, they were absolutely terrible to me. They were atrocious. But everybody in Maricopa County that helped, we engaged in kidnapping the kids and giving them back to her after what everything happened, and everybody here in Doñana County that did too, and everybody in Cochise County that was running it with the Wi-Fi. What does that make them? You guys all walked up, thanks for your service, you sacrifice all so we can be free, you're the real heroes, right? And then you get all these assholes that are extremists that are attacking these ICE agents. It's like, just because they're being insane, the only reason they're being insane is because you are acting insane. Okay, if you weren't acting insane, they wouldn't be called in. Okay, if you weren't doing corporate corruption, and then you weren't trying to cover up your corporate corruption with old 60s bullshit, King Missile, let's fuck shit up. Let's protest. It's because it's Saturday and there's nothing better. They were such evil children because they wouldn't kill those old people. You don't kill old people. You kill people's capacity to sexually reproduce by ripping off their genitalia and putting on a new pair that doesn't function because it's not real. It's a medical invention. Okay, so you've automatically killed that couple and replace them as surrogate parents for other people that sexually reproduce. Okay. They can no longer take their DNA and put it into another person, and they have that DNA be a part of that other person and be a continuation of life through those two people loving one another. Okay. Isn't the same as warehousing old people and killing all their children and liquidating their assets to build a Nazi war machine? Okay. How are you any different than the conservative mass murderers that you claim are evil? All right. Talking children into wanting to destroy their capacity to sexually reproduce with each other to manage the surplus population so you have a better quality of life after you talk them all into killing themselves through operations is as insane as talking them to dressing up in Kevlar and mass murdering the poor people for other rich people all across the world, right? You can be my Yoko Ono, I'll be your Pope Leo, right? Leo, Mercury and Leo. I'm your Pope Mercury and Leo. You're going to be my Yoko Ono, I'll be your Pope Mercury and Leo. Okay, Max and Emmy's mom. They say she's real strong and she keeps coming back to deal with me and stuff like that. The strength is mine. I'm the strong one. Okay. I'm the one who gets abused and attacked by the business partners that want him to, join our side so we can kill all the bad people. I'm the strong one. Okay. She just comes back because they've made her into my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's never going to happen. You'll never get this. I'm not Borat's brother, and I'm not going to break out of the Cajun Reaper. Okay. We're not sisters. We can be friends. I can be her Pope Mercury and Leo. Everything's either smart or stupid. Patience of a minute. I have no more patience left for all this bullshit of we got till Tufts and NYU say, well, we got till 2050. You got till 2050 to be faithful. But you don't have to do it today. Tracy Chapman, could you explain it to him? Okay. Love declared for days to come is as good as none. Exactly. You don't sit there and say, I'm going to be, I will be faithful to you in the year 2050. And then we'll have everything we ever dreamed of. Okay, but what about from 2026 to 2050? Fuck you. You said I found somebody new to take my place. I said, don't feel so all alone. I found someone of my own, right? Put out my cigarette. Turned and walked away. I'm not that type of, I'm not a drama queen. I've been pulled into and had to deal with a lot of drama stuff and thought, okay, this is the last of the dramas. This is the last time I had to reach out and touch somebody's hand on Facebook before I leave the library here at the TBML. Or the Zool. Son of a bitch. Last time, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Remember when I was doing that for forever? It seemed like it was okay. It's going to stop any day now. I will hear you say, Lord's Prayers, Oda, or, awesome. Yay, let's do it. But it didn't happen, right? Life is eternal, grace is infinite. I'm not, it's never going to happen. Okay. And the rain will fall. It falls for you. I know you. I know Patrick is the protector of his mother, and she's intensely abused, and it's hard. Okay. And I know Noah is trying to be the protector of his mom, and she's intensely abused, and it's hard. Okay. And Natalie was manipulated and abused by these horrible perverts, and she's a tough old kiddo. She's a toughie. She's a little tiny toughie. She's my precious little Ray, my little, little protector. Amy was just trying to get Natalie to be able to survive the hell and then be successful and flourish to manipulate people. You ever watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians? I was sitting there watching it with the one with Scott and the guy, and they were at the restaurant, and Chris is being a bitchy drama queen. Well, he did this and not letting things go and not letting things start anew. Well, I don't want you to be with him. And you get that a lot with parents and stuff, and it's like, treat them as adults, okay? And say, okay, you made some bad decisions in the past. Don't do it again. Learn from your mistakes, don't repeat them, and do right by her and by yourself. When you do right by the woman, you do right by yourself. If you do wrong by a woman, you do wrong by yourself, right? We need women to, Bernadette, I need you to live, right? That's what you do. You say, right? You don't sit there and say, no. That's why, Mark, I didn't walk up to guys, squeeze them by the balls and look them in the eye so I could make them feel pain. I would just sit there and say, I raised her to be faithful to a relationship with a male. Well, you better return that. I don't have to squeeze your balls and rip them off. You did it to yourself. As Muhammad, it should face worse than death than to betray a faithful spouse. It'd be a fate worse than getting hit with 100 lashes from a whip and 100 stones from people that, you betrayed your spouse and your children, right? So he wasn't saying literally do it. He was saying life's eternal and grace is infinite. When you forsake your wedding vows, you forsake a family, and eternally that wretchedness from that is felt throughout time. I guess you guys can't read and understand the story of divorce real good. They don't read too good. Oh, we're going to have to get a Zoolander building, right? Building for children that don't read too good. We can name them Trojans. How about Spartans? That's great literature. There's nothing great literature about the Odyssey. If you read the Odyssey and understand the Odyssey and understand the historical significance and the historical actual, archaeological things about what happened in Troy, that a blind man made up a bullshit story for his wife to buy all his bullshit. That didn't happen. Okay? He didn't run into sirens. He didn't run into cyclops. He was out raping, looting, and pillaging. He got wasted on his stupidity and he couldn't leave your body alone. He's wasted and he can't find his way back home. And the apples that were still there are like what happened with King Richard when he went off with Prince John. They don't fall far from the tree. The corruption is pervasive. So if you allow weeds in the garden, you don't get apples, you get weeds that choke it off, right? That's why Suzuki always tells me, you see it, pull it, cut it. Don't poison it, because the poison will become a part of the fruit. And then you become a serpent instead of a gracious good shepherd. Right? So you got to understand this. Hey, man, I'm Jennifer Lopez's Pope Mercury and Leo, man. Shut up. I'm helping the kids here. I believe in sincere, faithful prayer, and if I get it, I'm not going to deny it. I'm the eternal spirit of him, okay? And the eternal spirit of myself tells me, roll with it or I'll go with it. Let's see how well this works. I'll take any help I can get. I want to live the Lord's Prayer. Yesterday, love was Ayer, okay? Let's forget about tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. Because tomorrow is the same time, the gift of grace, the faithless still, as it is today, okay? Unless we're living the Lord's Prayer right now. Right? Do you understand? I hope it's the spirit of this woman and she understands me and she has access to this stuff and she can anonymously watch it. I hope that when she meditates, she sits down, let me talk to him, let him feel my spirit, let him understand me eternally, let him bring out the best in me because I feel like I can't do it. Yeah. I'm still thinking friends. Why? Because for some reason... I don't feel nervous. I feel nervous for her, not for me. Guys, have you seen how hot she is? Okay. I'm in the Gila next week and we're in the same house walking around together. Are you sure you really have the hots for Uncle Fester's cousin? Okay. Here. Okay. Kids are going off to school. Goodbye. How you feeling, hon? I'm just kidding around. I was like, girl, you crazy. You crazy. Nah, I'd be like, no. You'd be crying and doing like Angie Bassett did in my head. Oh my God, look at you. Yeah, I know. I look like an old fart that's a drug addict and that drunk guy that mean guy at Pasamia that passed out drunk naked in his doorway and was mean to the kids and was mad at me because I always had the kids out there playing and they made noise and he would drink all night and want to sleep all day and got pissed off because the kids made too much noise. And he passed out naked in his damn doorway. hated me and treated me like shit. And I saw him there, and I came and I got a blanket and I covered him up, and I called the EMTs. And when they came to do that, I made sure, the kids were going off to school. I was making sure and looking and seeing that no one could see, and I was holding the blanket up so they could take care of him. He was naked, and he could have his privacy, and it wouldn't embarrass any of the kids and the families going off to school. And I thought to myself, oh gosh, I don't want to look like that when I get older. But I did. Thanks to all your heroes and your best scientists, the best scientists that the scientific community can offer. No, by 2017, I got myself, okay, I'm going to just continue this for the rest of my life and look and feel, as good as I can possibly feel. And no, they tried to rot my teeth out. It was horrible. What your heroes do to a man that doesn't want to be a hero because he knows it's fundamentally wrong. Okay? You teach Goliath to worship Jehovah. You don't have to cut his raping fucking head off. You teach the Philistines to ringing in the sheaves. You don't have to crush their fucking raping, pillaging fucking heads with the jawbone of an ass. NIL? Okay. Name, image, and likeness. Yeah. Okay. And the president is all bought in on NIL, but so is Joe Biden. Okay. He's no different. The reason why his kid got in so much trouble was selling access to his father to get their businesses the money they needed to do what they wanted with their business. And money's not real. If you need something done, you take the resources and you get it done with the people that know it needs to be done and want to do it with great love and build it to last so it will, and be easy to maintain so we will have it because we need it. Gosh, damn, you guys are dumb. You're like Thundercats dumb. You're like Silverhawks dumb. You're like Sectors dumb. You're like Pirates of Dark Water dumb. Dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. You are so dumb. Your fantasy football. You're a damn fucking doll getting massaged by a dog in the sink. So you're nuts. Okay. You're a cookie on a cutting board. You're wacko. They're wacko. Uh-huh. And Jesus told me that in Sierra Vista. He said, just be as selfish and dumb as you can possibly be and then keep going. I said, you can't, Jesus. He goes, I know. But that's what you're dealing with. And they've been doing this eternal wretchedness. Okay, I get it. Well, you don't have to correct the human beings. You just have to correct the technology. Oh, you're right, because the technology will be invented to answer everything scientifically and mathematically. Okay, there. And you cannot grasp the infinite with finite alone. You're mad there. So for life's eternal, grace is infinite. You understand that. You have the natural laws to validate that, but you can't grasp the infinite essence with the eternal existence. So trying to do so will drive you mad. So appreciate the eternal existence from the infinite essence and obey and understand and obey the natural laws provided by the infinite essence to have an eternal existence through faithfully loving one another. It's not hard. There's no way in heaven that this should be hard. But in hell, it's impossible. To ask a baby not to cry, it's just impossible. No, you can get a baby to stop crying. I've done it numerous times. Okay, I get them to laugh, okay, because they are cute. Well, you change their diaper, you feed them, you snuggle them, you hug them, you gab, you laugh, and yeah. And some of them rarely cry. Noah was mostly a laugher. He didn't cry much. When he got rashes on it because he was real sensitive skin, yeah, that made him uncomfortable. That makes me cry too. That hurts. I got bit by ants on my chest. So yeah, I understand completely, right? And Natalie was a crier. She's more of a screamer than a crier. Yeah, Patrick's like, God damn, sounds like she's possessed. I know. Because they had the one kid crying next door. Ah! And then Natalie would get thrown in her room. Ah! It's like the other little kid going, she said in baby toddler talk that she's going to kill them in their sleep, right? The other kid got quiet. Patrick's like going, yeah, I know. That's Natalie. That's Kelly Jack Green's kid. I was very patient with her and worked with her. Well, she's a good kid. She's a good kid. She shares the brain injuries and irrationality of both biological parents. Okay. But look at how with Patrick, his mom has a lot of brain injuries through tribalism that she can't overcome. It's harder for women than men because of the hemisphere thing. And she draws him right back into it, and he feels he has to protect her. And it's like, you can't protect somebody from themselves, Patrick. You can only, stand up for that what is truthful, be a truthful and faithful person, and hope that they will do the same and not lie to the courts and say, I'm him, he's me, I was such a selfish asshole. Now do something about it by abusing him because he's me and I'm him. And you're like, what? Same thing Amy did. Same thing all of you do. I'm Jesus, he's God, you're not God, you're crazy because you think you're God. God's omniscient, omnipotent. I am the spirit of the man who shares that with everybody because of his humility, his faith, his courage, and his kindness. It says so in all the documents, and my life story proves it, and your life story just proves that you are one of the descendants of Abu Lahab. Oh, read another book, woman. The books are based off of people that are eternally faithful communicating, that are manipulated by liars that are not faithful. And that's what's happening. So you need the living word to correct, like, what happened with the Sadducees and the Pharisees with Jesus. Okay, there you go. Okay, love you. All right, peace. Thanks, man.